Have you heard about subconscious selling? Maybe, maybe not, because it's really just a term that I just made up. So let me tell you a bit about it. Yuri Elkaim here from Healthpreneur. And what we do is we help health and fitness experts start and scale coaching businesses. We spend a lot of time on the phone talking with clients, prospective clients. And yes, part of what we do is selling. First and foremost, I want you to understand that selling is not evil. Selling is a necessary part of business. And if you don't know how to sell, then obviously you're not going to like selling, because we tend not to like things we're not very good at. So I'm not going to go into the whole mechanics of selling in this video, but I want to bring up an interesting concept here, which is the whole notion of subconscious selling. So let's say that you are about to have a phone call or a consult call with a prospective client, and you've got your script all ready to go. You're feeling good about this person, but for whatever reason you've had a bad day, and maybe things haven't gone well. Maybe the kids were a little bit crazy in the morning, or maybe you've had a couple phone calls that didn't really end up the way you wanted them to over the last couple days. So you approach this call with a little bit of pessimism, a little bit of almost anger, right? Disappointment, frustration. And the outcome of this call is likely not to go the way you want it to. And the reason for this is because of the subconscious energy undertone that's going into this conversation. There was a really interesting study done by, I can't remember who, and published somewhere I can't remember, which is a great way of adding credibility to this conversation. But essentially what they found was that in a phone conversation, they looked at the cortisol levels of both people on the phone. Now, the person leading the conversation, asking the questions, the coach, for instance, came into the call stressed, negative, and anxious. And they measured the cortisol levels in both parties, both people, and they found that the person receiving the phone call matched that person's physiology. So the cortisol levels, all that kind of stuff, was almost identical across the phone conversation, right? Not even in the same room. And this is the power of humans. We're like amazing at mirroring and matching other people. We're almost like chameleons in a way. It's just incredible. So when you think about this, you want to approach your conversations. With our team, we call this Get Zen and Then. We talk with our clients about doing a pre-call warm-up, very much like an athlete would do a pre-game warm-up, right? A dynamic warm-up before you go on the court, before you go on the field. Same idea. Spend 2 to 3 minutes before your phone conversations, before speaking with a prospective client. Get yourself calm and optimistic. Like right here. If I were to have a phone conversation, I might sit down in one of these chairs overlooking the beach, take a couple deep breaths, and really just focus on the positive outcome. Everything's gonna go great here. I'm gonna be of service to this individual. If they're the right fit, they're gonna be the right fit. They're gonna enroll with me. You're just gonna set the tone, right? You're gonna set the intention. You're gonna set your energy. You don't have to jump on the phone and be like, all right, I'm super excited, let's do it. Like, you don't have to be like crazy high energy. It's gotta be positive and calm. And if you approach your conversations with that type of tone, watch what happens to the outcomes of your conversations. Now, with that said, you do have to understand a framework, and it's helpful to know how to lead a conversation, but it's really important that you start it properly, because you can't have a happy ending to a bad beginning. So before you even pick up the phone, sit down, close your eyes, visualize the positive outcome of this conversation. Get your heart rate down, focus on the good. Get zen and then. And watch what happens. You're gonna find that you're just gonna approach your conversations with more positivity, with more optimism, just with more happiness. And here's the thing too, is just on the phone, smile. Smile, yeah. Smile over the phone. Smile and dial. People can hear the smile over the phone. So if you've had a couple bad calls, if things haven't gone the way you want them to, if you've had a bad day, you need to be able to compartmentalize and move that stuff, like literally move it off the screen and focus on this individual. You're there to serve them. You're there to serve them. Be present with them. Give them your all. And watch what happens to the outcome of those conversations. I promise you they'll be much more effective than if you came into the call pessimistic and angry, okay? So that's the whole notion of subconscious selling, is really approaching your calls with the right intention, with the right energy, and really from a place of service and love, as opposed to frustration and anger. So if you agree with me, just let me know in the comments below. And if you find this video helpful, hey, give it a thumbs up, give it a share. I'd really appreciate that. And hope you guys have an amazing day. Yuri Elkaim signing off. See you soon.